Hi everybody, my name is Danny Wells and I'm going to train today on something that I've been learning about recently from Coach Jerry, so Jerry Rosenthal. And so we've been having weekly coaching. This guy is just incredible and he only coaches Arbonne consultants as well. So he has such a good feel about what Arbonne is, the culture that we have, how it all works, the structure, and he's just absolutely he's like a magician. He's insatiable. He's just amazing. So I'm going to train today on something that I've learned from Jerry this week about duplication. So I put together a little slideshow. I'm just going to share my screen and we'll get started. Okay, right, just turn that down. Okay, so I'm going to train on duplication, okay, because let's all face it, when we're working in network marketing, what is the name of the game? Duplication. If duplication isn't what we're doing, we're not going to be successful at network marketing, okay? So I'm going to train on duplication today. So I want to start off by telling you a little story because I think it's quite funny. So when I first started my business, coming up to 2 years ago now, I'd never heard of network marketing. I'd certainly never heard of Arbonne. I'd never heard about health and wellness. So I've never heard about all the things that probably would have propelled me a lot quicker in building a network marketing business. But, you know, we all come into owning our own businesses with lots of different experiences. So that's absolutely fine. These things are not there to hinder us. They're there to make us learn and become better. Now, one thing that I am is super coachable and give me some instructions and I do it. I'm very much, tell me what I'm doing, I'm done it. Consider it done. And so when we started this business, we were told, right, read this book, which was the Don Frailer 45-second presentation, or otherwise known as Own Your Life, but it's the same book, just two different titles. Read it, and then you have to give it to somebody else and tell them to read the beginning, first couple of chapters, and if they like it and they want to start their own business, then to read the rest of the book and it'll explain how to do it. And that's it. I was like, brilliant, I can do that. So off I went. I ordered some of the copies of the book and I started handing them out to people to have a read. And people were like, yeah, I get it. Yeah, let's start our business. Brilliant. And some of the people that started their business 2 years ago are still with me now. Like we all know in network marketing, starting in network marketing is like joining the gym in January. Everybody's all in the beginning. They're like, yeah, let's join the gym. And then middle of the month in January, half the people that joined their gym membership are not going anymore. They know that it's the right thing to do. They know that going to the gym to partake in the exercise is going to get them to their goal, but they're not willing to do it. And that's like having a network marketing business. A lot of people will start and open their own online shop, their own online business, because it's going to get them to the goal that they want to be at. You know, financially provide for their family, give them some emotional cravings that humans need, give us that social esteem, give us that confidence, that self-belief. You know, all these goals that they have, they know that starting their own network marketing business can take them to that goal. But once they've started, they're like, oh, I don't know. And that's like going to the gym. So it's like, you know, that race, you know, everybody gets in and then half the people are gone, like the gym membership. Okay, so that's not a reflection on network marketing. That's a reflection on people, just human nature. So some of the people that started their business when I did, who are still working their business now, so Suzanne, Jane, Heidi, I'm trying to think who else, Ian, I think that's probably about it. There might be a few more, but these guys will remember these days. So we were like, here's your book, read it, open your business, and that's it, and just go and do the same, go and duplicate. And do you know what? That was so simple that it did start to work. It was like people were duplicating it because we had a really simple system. It was like, read the book, give it to somebody else. They read the book, give it to somebody else. And people were opening up their businesses. And this is what happened. So this is my business in the middle, which my goal was to be full of happy, loyal, reordering clients, people that were shopping on my online shop every second, 24 hours a day, because people can shop from all around the world. So while I'm sleeping, people in Australia are shopping. So my goal was to build all of these clients. Obviously, that doesn't happen from day one. They build up over time. And then, so that was the first half of our business. That's the direct sales side. And then the other half of our business, the network marketing side, was to help other people have exactly the same thing. So let's say this here is Suzanne's shop. She opened up her shop just like mine, and I would my goal would be to help her have what I have, so a huge base of regular reordering loyal clients that love shopping. And then Suzanne's going to go and share this information with somebody else over here, maybe in Canada, and they're going to do the same. And then while she's doing that, I'm helping, let's say, Jane build her business, and then she's helping so Gemma build her business here, and it goes on and on and on. So this is the network marketing side. This is the duplication side. So we have two halves to our business: the direct sales side. Now the direct sales side is our personal shop, what we're personally in control of. So our clients, our preferred clients, our events, our direct sales side. And then the other half is our network marketing side, which is where we teach other people how to take control of their own shop. It's their business. We're not their boss, but we teach them and we help them and we support them. They earn the biggest percentage of what's running through their shops, but we do earn a percentage as well, because we're helping them, supporting them, training, mentoring them, and giving them guidance and encouragement. So those are the two halves to our business. Now, we can only take full responsibility from our own personal shop, but we can try our absolute best to help our business builders become independent and take full responsibility over their shop. If they decide that they're not going to open their shop up every single day, and they're going to have a week off, and then they're going to open it for a day, and then they're going to have another week off, we can't change. We can't physically open it for them. It's their shop. It isn't ours. But what we can do is be their coach, be their encourager, be their mentor, and help them and duplicate what we're doing with them. So that is kind of the goal with this. But what happens is, it doesn't always work that way, okay? So people start their business, and we need to teach them skills. So when we were giving people these books, I'll just go back to this picture here, we weren't teaching them skills. We were teaching them how to literally start their own business, like they were buying a shop on the high street, and that's great. They've bought the shop in the high street, and they've got their infrastructure in, they've got their products in, but then they don't know how to advertise for their clients. They don't know how to meet people, to have shopping in their online shop, how to launch another business builder. We weren't teaching them skills. So yeah, we were duplicating people opening up their shops like crazy, like rabbits, and that was fab. People were opening up their shops all over the place, but no one knew how to run them. So it was like empty shops. We had empty shops all over the world, and obviously that's not great. So we needed to readdress this. So we needed to teach people skills. So we realised that, and we're like, okay, we've got to teach people actually what to do in their shop. And it was a bit tricky in the beginning, because we didn't actually know what to do. So it was like, how can we teach other people what to do when we don't actually know what to do? So do you know what? We just tried to figure it out, which is all that anybody can do. So when people start their business, there are a number of skills that they need to learn, such as finding people to actually talk to. You know, that's a big skill. Booking appointments in their diary, doing one-to-ones, doing product parties, doing business events, doing Discover Arbonne events, or going to Discover Arbonne events, or otherwise known as DAs, doing launches for people, launches online, building a client base, having a preferred client shop in your business time after time after time after again, independently. So you only have to show them the first couple of times, and then they independently shop from then on. Promoting events to others, adding a photo and a story to their website or to your own website, learning about the Arbonne history, learning about the industry of network marketing, learning how to do a follow-up, learning how to sponsor somebody and then to go on and keep on sponsoring people, how to launch and teach a new business owner to get up and running, learning about the product lines, learning your 60-second story, using Zoom, using SoundCloud, learning how to get on and involved with weekly training, getting involved with monthly region training, and then getting involved with our annual conference training put on by head office. So we only have once a year in the UK a conference put on by head office, which is second to none. That's an absolute essential must. Learning how to deal with negativity from very ignorant people, learning about Strong Start, learning how to have a business that maintains at the level of district manager and then towards an area manager, growing onwards to being a VP, and then overrides and compensation plan. And to tell you the truth, that's just a snippet of some of the skills that eventually we learn in this business. But that is a lot, isn't it? Like, wow, that is a lot. I appreciate why some people are a bit like, oh my gosh. So that leads me on nicely to the fact that there is a mindset element to duplication. So there are two statements that I believe to be true when it comes to duplication, which a lot of it does come to where the mindset is. So the two statements I believe to be true. Statement number one: duplication begins the moment you start talking to somebody. So the moment that we open our mouths, that is when the duplication process begins. So people are listening and watching what we do. They think that anything that we do from the moment that we open our mouths, that is what they're going to have to do. So what we need to do is we need to teach our teams to talk less and listen so much more. So to learn the art of questions that lead people to answer questions. So I believe that one of the greatest challenges is that so many people just talk too much. They talk and talk and talk and talk and talk, and they just vomit all over people. And the on-listener will think, I can't learn all of this, because they're literally listening to what you're doing and thinking, that's what I'm going to have to do. I can't remember all of that. So duplication begins the second you start talking to somebody, right? That is key. So number one, duplication begins the moment that you start talking to somebody. So number two, the second statement I believe to be true: duplication begins when simplicity meets confidence. So people have to be confident in what they do to duplicate. So people can't be confident if what they're trying to duplicate is too confusing. If it's too confusing or overwhelming, it's too much, too fast, too soon. And people's minds can't absorb or digest, and their minds just shut down. And a confused mind, we all know this, does nothing. So I repeat that, because that's really important. A confused mind does nothing. You can't duplicate confusion or overwhelm. And you don't want people to think that you are too awesome, that they can't do what you do. You want people to say, gosh, that's really simple. Is that all you do, Danni? If I can do that, which I can, then anybody can do that. You don't want them to go, Danni, you are so amazing at network marketing. Like, you were just born to do network marketing. It's definitely something that you were born to do, because you're just incredible at it. Like, you don't want people to say that. Obviously, you want your team to say that. That's great hearing your team say it. But you don't want other people to think that it's something like singing, like a singer. If you know an amazing singer, you might think, God, they're an amazing singer. Like, I'd love to sing like them. And then you think, well, I can't, because you have to be born like that. You don't want people to think you have to be born to be amazing at network marketing, because you absolutely don't. It's something that anybody can learn. And sometimes we see people that are amazing at network marketing and we think they were always that way. And trust me, they were not. Everybody starts in this business and not great at network marketing. Trust me, absolutely trust me on that one. Okay, so the more simple the process, the more confident people become. The more confident they are, the greater the actual duplication. Okay, so statement number two: duplication truly begins when simplicity meets confidence. So those are the two statements. So what have we got to do? It's simple. We have to keep it simple. We have to simplify it. So keeping it simple, simplify it. So when we're helping somebody get started with their business, we either work with someone's mindset. So you can see that top picture, we're helping them, we're giving them bite-sized little chunks, and they're like, oh, this is great, I've got it, absolutely get it. Or we work against someone's mindset. So I'll just tell you a little story to help with that. I have a phenomenal personal assistant, otherwise known as a PA. Her name is Lisa, and she is tremendous. Like, I could not praise this woman enough. And she's a virtual PA. So she works from home, and we have a WhatsApp group, and I just give her little tasks to do that help me out. So while she's doing those tasks, I can be doing income producing activity. Now, when she first started working with me, she hadn't worked with anybody in Arbonne before. So there was a massive list of things I would have loved her help with, but I knew that there was no way I could give her a massive list of things to do and her not be overwhelmed. So I couldn't say to her, right, Lisa, I'd like you to write down all of the birthdays of my district managers and above. I'd like you to work out what my overrides are for my clients, for my PCs, for my DMs, my area and my region. I'd like you to check my emails and do the welcome to the team emails, but I want you to add in an intro to each person. I want you to tag in who my upline is, and then I want you to send it all the way across to everybody that's in my upline, and then I would like you to I'm trying to think what else, but I hope you're getting the gist of that. She would have been like, whoa, like that would have been way too much. So what I did was I just gave her little tasks And I said, like, we're doing this together. I know it's not going to be, we're not going to get the ball rolling from day one. It's going to take a couple of months for me to keep giving you little tasks that you get your head around, and when you understand it, then I can give you the next thing. And she's been working with me for a couple of months, and she said to me the other day, so what level are you then? Are you a district manager? I was like, no, Lisa. I was like, I'm an RVP. I have the Mercedes. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. But this just goes to show that we can't give people too much information, because you're either working with someone's mindset or you're working against someone's mindset. So this is what leads me fantastically into this next bit. So you have to look at your starting process. So when someone starts their business with us, we start them off on our system, and our system is the top 10 to do. So the top 10 steps to get started and to continue on growing a thriving, flourishing, amazing business. So what I want you to do is to have a look at your system. And if you're listening to this and use a different system, that's absolutely fine. I'm not here to teach about systems. I'm here to teach you about simplifying it. So I want you to have a look at your system to helping somebody get started, and say to yourself, is there an easier way to give this to people to save them from shutting down? So going back to my PA, Lisa, she would have totally shut down if I'd literally just whacked her with a whole load of information and literally like putting a ton of paperwork on her desk and saying, can you just do this for me? Like, she just wouldn't have had a clue. She needed to do it bit by bit and understand and ask me, well, what's a DM, what's an AM, what's an override, what's a PC, what's a flash buy? You know, these need to be done in little chunks, so she's adding onto her knowledge. So I want you to have a look at your system and on helping somebody get started, and literally trawl through it. Give yourself a couple of hours to look through it and say, is there an easier way to give this to people to save them from shutting down? So this is our top 10 steps to getting started. Now, this was what we used to use and what we'll continue to use. It's fabulous, but it's a lot of information. And this is not even it. There's 2 pages. There we go. So we've got getting started top 10 to do. So number 1, explore the Arbonne website. Number 2, fill out your business plan. There's a great website for that. Number 3, aim for area manager with 6 baby steps. So we all know the baby steps are DM qual, and then we've got to go through all the strong start parts, AM qual, AM complete. Number 4, book your launches. Number 5, how to invite people to your launches. Number 6, events, so training events, get them in the diary. Number 7, the personal development side. Number 8, do your launches. Number 9, duplicate. And number 10, take tons of photos and videos, because you're going to have a hell of a lot of fun along the way. And then we say, after those top 10 steps of getting started over the first couple of weeks, is that we need to master skills to running a thriving business. Like any business, you have to become a master at the skills. You have to hone your skills. So the skills that we have are learning how to do a one-to-one, learning how to do a product event, learning how to do a business event, learning how to meet people that you want to book appointments with, and actually booking appointments. And the great thing about the skills in network marketing is we only really have 7 major skills, and they're all covered in Eric Worre's GoPro book. Now, when I look at our system, I'm like, I love it, absolutely love it. But my gosh, can you imagine being a new business builder and receiving all that in one go, which is what we do. We send that out to people, and they probably look at that and they're just like, oh my goodness me, what the heck is all of this? So this is where we're going to lead in to what we're going to do about it. Because this is a happy training. This is not a, we're doing it all wrong, everybody quit. It's not a sad training. This is a happy training. So I want you to imagine, I'm going to tell you a little story. I want you to imagine that you're on a picnic with your loved one or your friend or your mum and dad, doesn't matter who it is, but you're on a picnic with one other person, and you're sitting, the sun is shining, it's England, so it might be raining in a few minutes, so you're sat there, and the person next to you pulls out some apples. Oh, lovely, you know, you've had your sandwiches and you've had your cake, now you're going to have an apple. So you pick up your apple and you start munching into it and taking a few bites at a time, and you think, oh, this is nice. And all of a sudden, the person that you're sat opposite, so I'm going to say it's my husband, but it could be anybody that you're thinking of, my husband Ian, I look up at him and he's picked up his apple, his juicy green apple, and shoved it all in his mouth in one go. So he's literally got like a chipmunk face. He's got bulges coming out of his cheeks. His eyes are streaming. His veins are popping out of his head. He can't talk. He's like, oh. And I'm like, oh my gosh, literally shoved the whole apple in one go in his mouth. You can see his mouth is stretched to the max. It's giving me jaw ache, because I'm thinking, how the heck did you put that whole apple in your mouth? My goodness me, what on earth were you thinking? His eyes are popping out of his head. The sweat is dripping down. He's trying to chew this apple. There's no space, but he's trying to get through it. Yeah, he can't see properly. I'm like, oh my gosh. And I look at him and think, Ian, why did you do that? Why didn't you just chop it up into chunks, which is what I did. I had my apple chunk chopper, and I chopped it into little chunks, and I chopped it in half, and I chopped it in half again, and I had 6 bite-sized chunks, nice and easy and simple. And in the time that it took me to eat 6 chunks of apple, say it took me 5 or 10 minutes, it took him the same time. But did he enjoy doing it that way? Because I loved eating my apple nice and slowly, but he was in pain. He was in agony, literally all in one go, compared to me having my apple in some nice, yummy to eat chunks. So what I want you to think about is that being our system. Now, can you imagine when a new consultant starts and we shove our system at them? Here you go, off you go. Literally, they're going to have veins popping out their heads, their eyeballs popping out, sweat dripping down their face, not being able to talk, like, oh. Or do you want to have your system like this? It's chopped up nicely, take our time eating it, and you still get to the end goal. You still consume the whole apple, probably in the same time that the person that's had it shoved at them does. It's been a much more pleasant experience, bit by bit. So have you ever thought that the reason that doubt takes people out is because we load up their minds with too much information and too fast? Their mind can't absorb it, and they can't comprehend it. They get overwhelmed. They get scared. They think to themselves, oh my gosh, I can't do this. So they've got that whole apple in their mouth. They're thinking, I can't do this like they have. They've obviously given me this apple because they must have eaten it all whole as well. And I can't do this. I can't learn this. I don't have time for this. All of these thoughts create an opening for doubt. And before we know it, we lose people, and we cannot duplicate that. So how do we simplify and make duplication easier? So first things first, we need to take a look at what we are doing. So I'm not suggesting change it. What I'm saying is, with what you do, is there a way that you can take what you do, and instead of giving it all in the platform that you're maybe doing now, is there a way to chop it up into little bite-sized pieces, so make it easier for people to digest it? As you give them one piece and get it done, you give them another, and so on. And before you know it, they've gone through the whole system. So like that apple again, if you give people one piece of apple, they'd eat it and they would be happy with that. And then you give them their second piece, they eat it and they'd be happy with that. That's like the system. So going back to those top 10 steps, can you imagine being given step 1 and 2, and then you go through that and you go, yeah, done that. And then you give them step 3 and 4, a couple of days they do that. And then you give them step 5 and 6, and you're giving them bite-sized chunks. And then let's say that you ask them to book some appointments in their diary. You get their diary out. You say, right, okay, so let's get some appointments booked in. I want you to book 8 appointments. They're going to freak out because 8 is a big number. And you might, in the end, over the first month or 2, would like them to have had 8 exposures to them telling people about the Arbonne business with them. Yeah, I absolutely get that. But is it maybe worth, instead of saying to them, let's book 8 appointments in one go, saying to them, okay, your challenge this week is to book 2 appointments for the next 7 days, and I'll be there with you, and we're going to either do a one-to-one or an online launch or an in-person launch, whatever it may be, and then we're going to do them, and then we're going to book 2 more, and then off that we're going to book 2 more. And if you're thinking, well, yeah, but my diary gets really filled as a sponsor, well, how about you and your new business builder book in your diary the 8 different pieces of appointments in your diary? So Saturday afternoon, Sunday morning, Friday night there, Thursday evening there. Book it all in your diary together so that it's circled out for Arbonne time. But then don't say to them, right, I want you to go and fill that Arbonne time now. Don't say that to them. Just say, right, it's booked in our diary, so we don't need to worry about that now. It's booked in our diary, and you can highlight Arbonne time in yellow, and you know you're going to be together during those 8 Arbonne times over the next coming couple of months. But you say to them, just book the first 2 appointments with income producing activity, so one-to-ones or workshops, or you could talk to them about what it is that they want to book. And once they've booked 2, then you book the other 2, and you already know in the diary where those yellow highlighted pieces of time are, that you're going to be doing this together. So once they've done that first piece, they've done the first 2, then you give them another piece, so the next 2, and then once they've done that, you give them another piece, so people don't feel too overwhelmed when things are in bite-sized chunks or pieces. So I want you to ask yourself, when you sponsor somebody, how can I take this and chop it into small pieces and know once all of these pieces are done, the entire puzzle is completed? So digest your system down into bite-sized chunks. So you wouldn't eat a pizza in one big go. You would have it in bite-sized chunks and have one piece at a time. So this is why people get into district qual and they don't complete. So the reason why doubt takes people out is because we load people up with too much information. Look at this poor soul, all that information on the back of his back. Here's your system, here's your top 10 steps. See you area manager. So they're thinking, oh, I can't learn this. I don't have time for this. And doubt kicks in and we lose people. We've all seen it happen. So they might then, going back to they've just started their business and you've given them a catalogue and they get home and they open the catalogue up and it's full of product and they think, oh my God, I cannot learn all of this. And they go into panic mode. They don't realise that we have meet the product sheets. They're just in panic mode and a confused mind says no. So how do we simplify and make duplication easier? Half of the time, half of the people in the business don't even realise that they are talking too much. They're not even paying attention to people's body language. So it is really great to get good at understanding people's body language, which you can do free on the internet. You can search body language, YouTube courses on the internet. And this is where you're going to get a feel for if you're talking too much or not. So we only have a certain amount of time before we lose somebody. And we all know 95% of people that start the gym in January don't make it to the end of the year with their end goal. That's the same with network marketing. Lots of people will start their own network marketing business and open their own business because they know it's going to get them to the goal that they want, but they don't follow through with it. So we only have such a short amount of time to help them learn what they need to learn to get going and to sustain and to add on top of their knowledge. So you have to think of it like a sand timer, sorry. So there's only a certain amount of time. So when somebody starts their own business within your network, you literally, the moment that they start their business, the moment that they've filled everything in online and it's confirmed, you have to imagine you've got your sand timer. So this hourglass is your new business builder. So when they start, flip it over and the sand starts shifting from top to the bottom. So you only have a certain amount of time to do the right things with this new business builder to keep them in the game, keep them moving. So there are 3 things that we have to focus on to help people get started. So that's it, 3 things. Number 1 is they have to experience the business. So they need to experience people buying products. They need to experience what a one-to-one is and what a one-to-one is like. They need to experience what it's like to sponsor a business builder. They need to experience what it's like to do a product or business launch. They need to experience host rewards. They need to experience weekly team training on Sunday night. They need to experience monthly region training on the first Monday of every month. They need to experience the annual corporate head office conference. Obviously, I've made a massive spelling mistake there. Conferenced. Not sure what happened there. And how? So as human beings, we think in pictures. So if I said elephant, all of you will have a visual of an elephant in your mind. Like that! Yay! Isn't he cute? Or she? And so there's the elephant. So what if I say, picture a salivating Rottweiler? What do you think of? A salivating Rottweiler. We think in pictures. So people need to experience Arbonne in pictures by actually experience it. So to experience Zoom, don't tell somebody how to use Zoom. Show them how to use Zoom. Be there either using Zoom or phoning them up or in person, how to download Zoom and how to use it, how to mute themselves, how to turn the camera on or off, how to join a meeting, how to start their own meeting. Show them by experiencing how to use Zoom. Same with going to a DA. So don't just tell them what a DA is. Take them to a DA. Help them host a DA with you so that they can experience it. Experience in a one-to-one. You need to do several one-to-ones with them when they've started their business. They can experience what a one-to-one is. Help them experience in having a client shop from their business. Help them experience in how to meet new people, networking, how to meet new people that they don't already know so they can book appointments with them to share their business with. Help them experience a product event with lots of people there or a handful of people there enjoying a fabulous Friday night wine and nibbles night or Saturday morning coffee and cake morning, a product experience. Help them experience what it's like to start building a team and them being the leader. Help them experience SoundCloud. All of these different things, it's great for them to start experiencing and learning, but you can't shove it all on them in one go. You know, it's bit by bit by bit, but they need to experience it. People experience in pictures, so they need to experience these things by actually doing it. So it's all very well telling them what a DA is, but they need to go to a DA to experience it. So number 2, they need somebody on their team. Okay, they need somebody on their team. So they need to sponsor somebody, because you have already sponsored somebody because you sponsored them. So you're one step ahead of them. So if you don't help them sponsor somebody, they're going to think, well, if Danny can't sponsor anybody with me, what chance do I have of sponsoring anybody? So another thing is, they don't want to shut up their business as quickly when they have Betty in their team. Because they're thinking, God, what if Betty goes on to be a rock star and I leave that money behind? Somebody has somebody in their team, they're less likely to shut their business up because of that reason. Because can you imagine, you sponsor Betty, she's an absolute MVP rock star, and you've left, you'd be kicking yourself. And sometimes the fear of loss motivates them. So there would have been times in my business early on where I thought, gosh, you know, I'm really struggling, like with any business. There is struggle with absolutely any business, and I might have thought to myself, it's easy just to start, but I knew that I had people in my team like Suzanne and Jane and Heidi. If I left, I'm leaving all that money on the table because they're all going to be MVPs. Can you imagine leaving the business and having had sponsored 3 people that became MVPs? You would be furious. So the fear of loss motivates them. So they stick around longer if someone's on their team than if somebody wasn't on their team. If you've sponsored them, so like I said before, you have more experience of sponsoring a person than they do. So you need to teach them how to sponsor at least one person. So if they think, well, if my sponsor can't help me sponsor somebody, what chance do I have? So we need to help our new consultants sponsor people at their one-to-ones and launches as soon as possible. So they cannot do what they haven't seen done. If they don't see sponsoring happening, they won't believe that they can. So we must sponsor people in their network for them as soon as possible. So number 3, help build them a triple-digit paycheck in their first 30 or 60 days. So help build them a triple-digit paycheck in their first 30 to 60 days. There's your triple-digit paycheck. So that's £100 or more. So the reason why is because when somebody earns their first paycheck, mine was £12.50, and that was great. I was elated. Didn't even cash it in. I kept it. I wanted to frame it. I was so proud. But what I've seen in my business, and there's been hundreds and hundreds of people that I've seen receive paychecks or commission checks, should I say, if it's got a 3 digits in the beginning, so it's over £100, even if it's £101, they are more elated than somebody that's got 2 digits. So the person that earns £101 is so much more happier than the person that received £99. I don't know why. I can't tell you why that is, but it is the way that it is. When someone receives 3 digits in their paycheck, they are absolutely ecstatic. Now, people that have negative people in their family, so negative spouses or negative parents, when they see that in the first 30 or 60 days that they're receiving just over £100, I know £100 is not a £3,000 paycheck, I know that, but to be able to go back and say, you know, I'm already making over £100 and I'm only in the first 2 months of starting my business, that's pretty impressive for any business. That is impressive. And then if you keep going on and on and on and helping other people to earn the same, your paycheck's going to go up, because obviously we get paid the more we help other people to earn what they want to be earning. So help them earn a triple-digit paycheck. Stick to them like glue for the first 30, 60 days so they are receiving a triple-digit paycheck, because it's going to motivate them so much. So focus on the 3 major things that will keep them engaged. So number 1, experience the business. Number 2, help them sponsor. And number 3, a triple-digit paycheck. So just a little extra bit here as well. Before somebody starts their own business, ensure that they understand the quality of Arbonne products and that the category that they sit in is high, premium, ultra. The last thing you want is somebody to start their own Arbonne business and be really confused as to why their products are being compared to an economy range of products. Because if somebody was a car salesman and they were selling Mercedes and somebody said to them, oh, you know, I just want a little Fiesta, they're not going to get upset about it because they know it's a completely different category. They're not saying a Fiesta is better than a Mercedes. They can't possibly say that because that is not true, but they're in different categories. The same as holidays. If somebody was selling or recommending holidays to Disneyland, Florida, compared to going on a caravan holiday to Great Yarmouth, and by the way, I love caravan holidays to Great Yarmouth. I'm not slating that at all. I love them as much. But you can't compare the quality of the two different holidays. They're two completely different categories. So if somebody said, well, you're selling holidays to Disneyland, Florida, but somebody else down the road is selling holidays to Great Yarmouth for a fraction of the price in a caravan, okay, that's absolutely fine. You know, if that's the holiday that your budget allows for and that's what you want to do, absolutely no problem. So make sure they really understand that if anyone does compare their products to a completely different brand or category, you can't compare. They're in different brands, different categories. So really, really make sure people wear that. And just to really emphasize that point, imagine you were selling or recommending Tiffany jewelry and somebody said, your Tiffany jewelry is really expensive. I can go to Primark and buy a £1 ring. All right, okay, if that's what you want to buy, if that's the quality you want to buy, absolutely no worries. You can't compare the two. So before they even start their business, make sure they're aware that the Arbonne products are in a very high quality band, that if anybody was to compare them to a different band, it doesn't faze them because it's just different. It's just a different band. So before they start their business, make sure they've watched Eric Worre, Rise of the Entrepreneur. It's a 50-minute documentary, and this is the best and shortest way to have a great overview of the industry of network marketing. Absolutely. There's nothing else that compares in such a short time the overview of network marketing. Understand that to build any business, we must never rely on people we know being the people who we provide a service for as making our business successful. So they have to accept that before they start their business, like any business, it's about word of mouth and building awareness with people you don't know. So who wants what you have to offer? You need to find them. So they need to really understand that if they were training to be a hairdresser, they needn't rely on their friends and family to come to them for haircuts because they've already got a hairdresser. And they needn't say, well, I'm not going to follow up my dream because the people that I know have already got a hairdresser. Or if their dream was to become a tiler, they needn't worry about their friends and family not having to need their bathroom or kitchen tiling and say, well, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to give up on my dream because everybody I know has already got their kitchen and bathroom tiled. They need to accept before they open their own Arbonne business that the people that they know might not necessarily want to use high quality products. They might not necessarily want to do this as a business and turn an expense into an income because they're happy with the time that they have and the money that they have and what they're giving back to the world. That people must not rely on their friends and family to make them successful within their dream. And lastly, it's going to take a few years to be an expert or a professional within this industry, but they can earn while they learn everything along the way. They're not going to be an expert in the first 6 months. It's not going to happen. Not even in the first year. It's going to take a few years to become an expert, but while you're learning, you're earning. So action. So I want you to go back and check your system. Can it be given in chunks over 2 weeks? So that top 10 steps getting started, let's give it in little chunks. Can the first 2 months of someone starting their business, let them see a one-to-one, let them see a product event, let them see a product party, let them see and experience a launch online, let them see and experience a launch in person, let them see and experience someone being sponsored, let them see and experience a PC starting, let them see and experience products being purchased from their business, let them see and experience host rewards being used, let them see and experience weekly online training, monthly region training, annual AAC conference. Let them see and experience a Discover Arbonne event. Let them see and experience SoundCloud training, YouTube trainings, Vimeo trainings, okay? So work out how you can give your system in bite-sized chunks, have them experience the business, sponsor people in their team from their network and help them build a triple-digit paycheck. So thank you so much for listening to this training. I hope that it's been as helpful to you guys as what it has been for me. So remember, bite-sized chunks, and your simplicity attracts me. So keep it simple, bite-sized chunks. Good luck. I'm sure you're going to be absolutely amazing with this training. Put it into action. Bye-bye, everyone.